Whether you game on a budget or just don't need ultra-high resolutions, 1080p is where it's at for the vast majority of gamers. In this video, we'll break down the top 5 GPUs capable of crushing your favorite games at that sweet spot resolution of 1080p. From affordable budget options to high FPS powerhouses, these are the best GPUs for 1080p gaming at full HD. Starting at number 5 on our list of the best 1080p GPUs, we have the Intel Arc A750 as the best budget graphics card for 1080p gaming. Now this one is really cool because it's Intel's first entry into the discrete graphics card market, so they're a brand new player taking on Nvidia and AMD. The Arc A750 isn't going to blow you away with hardcore 4K 120Hz gaming like the flagship cards, but for smooth 1080p gameplay, it's an absolute steal at around $250. In games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Forza Horizon 5, it was pushing well over 55 FPS on max settings, which is perfect for that resolution. And get this, in Red Dead Redemption 2, it churned out a silky smooth average of 86 FPS. Now, being a launch product, Intel is still optimizing Arc's performance in older DirectX 11 titles. But if you're willing to take a chance on something new for killer value, this one's tough to beat. The Arc A750 essentially matches an RTX 3060 for half the price. Just don't expect ray tracing or streaming yet, but it's still capable of crunching through the latest games with no issues. So whether you're on a budget or want to support the new kid on the block, the Intel Arc A750 is a great option for smooth 1080p play. For solid 1080p gaming on a slightly higher budget, the AMD Radeon RX 5600 XT deserves your consideration in the number 4 spot. Now I know what you're thinking. This card has been a bit long in the tooth since it was first released in 2019. But don't underestimate the old horse. It's still got some pep in its step for 1080p. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a pretty demanding open-world title, it cranked out a smooth 76 FPS on max settings. And get this, it even held its own at 1440p with a still playable 50 FPS. Lighter games like Forza Horizon 4 saw well over 100 FPS at 1080p, not bad for an aging GPU. While it doesn't support ray tracing like newer cards, AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution does help boost frames. Pair that with competitive pricing around the $300 to $330 range these days, I still think it's a very viable option. Just make sure to watch for deals, as sometimes you can snag an RX 5700 XT for not too much more. A card that really flexes its muscles at both 1080p and 1440p. Yet overall, even though it's not AMD's latest and greatest, the RX 5600 XT shows there's still life left in older GPUs, especially when paired with a nice budget price tag. The RTX 3060 lands at number 3 thanks to its insane value for money when gaming at 1080p. Now, I know a lot of you were probably expecting to see the 3060 Ti here, and don't get me wrong, it certainly will be here. But for folks on a slightly tighter budget, the regular 3060 is an amazing option that saves you a solid $100 to $120. While it might not be quite as powerful as its big sibling, it still brings all the RTX goods like ray tracing and DLSS. In Cyberpunk 2077, it averaged a totally respectable 59 FPS, and something lighter like Fortnite, a butter-smooth 132 FPS at max settings. Where the 3060 really flexes its muscles is when you kick on Nvidia's Blackmagic DLSS. In titles that crush lower-end cards like Cyberpunk, toggling DLSS gives you a massive performance boost without sacrificing too much quality. All of a sudden, you're gaming at silky smooth frame rates. Add in highly competitive pricing starting around the $340 to $380 mark, and it's hard to argue with the value here. The 3060 might not be the flashiest card, but it screams great performance per dollar spent for reliable 1080p gaming. At number 2, we've got the Radeon RX 6600 XT as the best AMD graphics card for 1080p gaming. Now, while it sometimes trades blows price-wise with the mighty 3060 Ti, the 6600 XT is laser-focused on absolutely crushing it at 1080p. In testing across 5 major titles, this one pulled a ridiculous average of 117 FPS at full HD. That butter-smooth performance makes it a no-brainer pick for those sweet 144Hz monitors. Under the hood, you'll find 32 of AMD's latest RDNA 2 compute units, which bring all the premium features like ray tracing. Sure, its ray tracing muscle isn't quite as beefy as Nvidia's, but come on. At this price point for 1080p gaming, who's really expecting miracles there? In the real world, titles like the expansive Red Dead Redemption 2 ran buttery smooth at 68 FPS maxed out. Meanwhile, Fortnite, one of the most optimized esports titles out there, was a silky 137 FPS. At this price point, it really cements itself as the king of 1080p value. So whether you're an AMD diehard or just want insane performance for your dollar, the 6600 XT is absolutely worth considering for brilliant 1080p gaming. And the champion defending its crown at number 1 for 1080p gaming is the mighty RTX 3060 Ti. This thing was simply built for smooth, high frame rate 1080p gaming, and then some. Rocking Nvidia's powerful Ampere architecture, it comes fully loaded with all the latest RTX goodies, like real-time ray tracing and DLSS. The 3060 Ti tore through games like a hot knife through butter. Titles like Battlefield 5 were an insanely fluid 152 FPS maxed out at 1080p. Even the notoriously demanding Cyberpunk 2077 was a surprisingly playable 73 FPS on epic settings at full HD. Averaging its performance across our lineup of challenging modern titles, it maintained an average of 130 FPS, which is a seriously impressive number. But the 3060 Ti's real party trick is Nvidia's wizardry, that is DLSS. With it turned on, games that would melt your previous GPU suddenly feel silky smooth. The magic of DLSS even means this powerhouse GPU can handle heavier titles at 1440p without breaking a sweat. At a price tag hovering between $400 to $450 these days, the RTX 3060 Ti is undeniably the champion and truly is the best bang for your buck if you want smooth, fast gaming at 1080p and beyond. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, press the bell icon for instant notification